Hello, guys, and welcome to a Deck Tech. Here today, I'm joined by Yanis Kouris, a winner from ProQuest Plus from Greek Nationals,
Hello.
and he's here with me today to talk about the list that we both used at the Greek Nationals, and he used in great success in the PTI Plus event the day after. So we're here to talk a bit about the list and the similarities and differences and what's different about the rest of the new lists that are around. So, first of all, Yanis, why did we choose to play new in this event?
Well, no, it's a very lovable hero, especially for the art. First of all, the art is amazing. And the second, the disruption mechanic that she has is something that I love very much, and I think you love too. And there is still some fatigue in involved in all of this.
Yeah,
So
so I also felt that it had a pretty good matchup into Zen even before the bannings, and it was a main reason to choose to pick such a hero. And also, we were expecting a lot of ninjas in the Greek nationals, so we both felt like that we wanted to be rather than to play the aggressive deck, we wanted to both play the reactive deck. So
yeah, I think it's I decided to say the things with the art and the disruption mechanic as reasons first. That's why.
yeah, of course. So. A small overview about the list. We have some differences and some similarities in the list. You can find both the lists down below. About results, I made it to top 4 with this list, and Yanis made it to top 8. And Yanis also won the PTI Plus on the second day of the event. So, first of all, we are running every single Transcend card, but the Fable. We both run each one of them. We also run 3 copies of Pursuit of Knowledge, and we have a mix and match about some reactions and defense reactions. So first of all, Yanis, why the 9 Transcends?
Well, the 9%, it's it's something that most people don't use. Yeah, I think every transcend card, it means that has disrupt on it. It doesn't say it, but you have the very powerful card, Mask of Recurring Nightmares. So every time you play a blue card, you can transcend and disrupt your opponent with a transcend card. That's why it's a very powerful mechanic that um, against aggro decks like Zen, and that's the main reason we played No. It's very powerful. So yeah, 9, it's better than 8. It's better than 7. That's why. More disrupt cards, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and also
Um,
we figured out that towards testing that even sometimes with 2 random cards to simply activate Mask of Recurring Nightmares was annoying enough to never allow the other aggressive strategy to execute their full hand. And that's why we went with it. And also, I think that's a big side note regarding Pursuit of Knowledge, because I think it's a card that a lot of new lists do not run, and it has pretty much the same mentality that we figured out that even playing Pursuit of Knowledge and forcing the opponent to block with equipment and the card and then simply activating Mask of Recurring Nightmares, even though it's a heavy blue hand, it's not so powerful, it still annoys the opponent and still does not allow the opponent to play his natural turn cycle, and we felt that interaction is pretty powerful.
yeah, Pursuit, it's something that when your opponent sees the Pursuit, most of the times it's like, okay, I don't want him to draw 5 cards. Uh, Even when he doesn't care, it's still a powerful effect that make your hand in the following turn more consistent, or just add value on the blocks card. So yeah, Pursuit is very very good. And it's very consistent as set to disrupt.
Yeah, so let's get a bit more regarding the details now, regarding the comparisons. So, you were running 3 copies of Amnesia, and I think that's the first card I want to get into it. So, why you wanted to include 3 copies of Amnesia?
Well, um, of course, because of Zen. Uh, Amnesia has a very powerful hit against Zen. He can play all his combo stuff. Tigers that doesn't have any names, or no either bonds. Also, Amnesia it's a 6 power card that can pop against Prism, and has a relevant hit effect as well against Prism, which is a very bad matchup for Nu. So yeah, I, I think I wanted to have 9 poppers in the deck, at least 9. And yeah, Amnesia pretty much is the very powerful hit effect against Zen. It's something that I can't ignore it. I wanted more cards with relevant hit effects against Zen. That's why.
Yeah, and also it felt like, I mean, I also include a few copies of Amnesia, and it felt that versus Zen, you actually want to be the proactive deck, because Zen will try to block and wait for a turn where you don't have that much disrupt, and Amnesia really helps you being proactive and have more threats to keep the pressure up. So, uh, pretty much in the same slot I had Art of Desire Body, which I will talk shortly. The main reason I wanted to include Art of Desire Body is because I enjoy blocking more as in general, and Art of Desire Body is a great one card play, which New doesn't really have too many of them. And also Art of Desire Body is good into KO because there is a semi fatigue game plan, and also versus Zen after, if we are not in the game state where he's only trying to block and wants to try to find a turn to go off, but we are in that more trade situation where they play with 2 cards and deal 8 damage, and I need to do a 2 card play and such. I really enjoy Art of Desire to give me that block with every single card in my hand, and then just simply play Art of Desire and present a threat. So, and now I have it in front of me. So, along the same lines that Yanis already explained, I was running Blanche because it's strong into Prism, which, as Yanis already said, is a pretty bad matchup, and it also has a semi-relevant effect into Prism and into Zen, and it's also semi-decent in the mirror sometimes. So, let's move forward to another card that I'm not including in my deck and you're including in yours, which is Fate Foreseen. And the main comparison has to be That's All You Got. I chose to run That's All You Got, Yanis chose to go with the Fate Foreseen. So, why did you choose to go with Fate Foreseen?
Well, um, first of all, I think that all you got is the best meta for it to play. If you want to play that all you got, that's the meta for it. Go for it. But in my eyes, I think uh, I want to have a better feeling in the overall meta with Fate Foreseen. I mean, you block one more, yeah, it's more relevant against Victor, against Azalea, against Kaio, but that all you got is exceptionally better in the Zen matchup and in the mirror. So it comes down to ask yourself what matchups you're going to have a better matchup. In my case, and if we compare the list, you were playing more cards that could use one hand play, like the Art of Desire Body. So I didn't have that. I didn't like very much the red stealths, but I still find them very good to play them. So yeah, one more reason to play Fate for Sin instead of that all you got for me was Kaio matchup and Azale. Um, yeah, that's it for Fate.
Yeah, so along the same lines, I mean, I also, from the other hand, I felt like I wanted to get as many points as possible into Zen, and that's all you got really helped with that. I felt a lot my matchup with Kaio struggle by not including the three Faithful Sins because Kaio has a lot of break points, and towards the later stages of the game, sometimes even that one block difference is relevant because you get into the range of the defense reaction, reckless swing, if you do not exactly block the 7 power attacks that he presents a lot. But I still took the risk and wanted to get as much as good a matchup with Zen as possible, and that's all you got really helped with that because not so much in the beginning of the game where I'm presenting the disruption and he tries to play around that, but that's all you got is way more important towards the later stages of the game where you use it to win these mid-game trades and present more damage and more disruption than what Zen presents to you. So, regarding the other big difference has to be that Yanis is including a third copy of Justinic and a third copy of Venomous Bite, and on these two slots, I'm basically using two copies of Codex of Blood. So, why did you choose to go with more reactions?
So let me say that more reaction can break you very, very bad, and you won't have a turn. But in our testing against the illusionist, uh, it felt very, very bad not to deal with them efficiently. And I tried many, many cards for that matchup specifically, and I found that damage is all you want. So yeah, I took the risk of inconsistency and added more reactions. So if the lines are straightforward, yeah, you will deal with them very efficiently. But yeah, I took a risk. It's not consistent enough because yeah, third Justin Nick, but with 12 stealth cards.
Yeah, okay, so
That's
so you would say that, the attack reactions are somewhat of an illusionist sideboard?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay. That's great. So in pretty much the same context, I wanted the card that's interesting in the illusionist, and that's why I went with Codex of Bloodroot. It's sometimes annoying to give Enigma or Prism a Bloodroot the turn where they want to wake up their, either develop their board, and that's interesting with Codex of Bloodroot. Also, sometimes it gives the added benefit of activating your arsenal disrupt like CNC or Leave No Witness, and that's another point where Codex of Blood is interesting. But I'm still not sure what we are going to do for Amsterdam. I mean, I'm still considering. I mean, my my losses were to Illusionist in the Nationals event, so I'm not sure I have figured out a good game plan. So, Giannis, we need to work a bit better than that
Yeah,
for Amsterdam.
I lost to freeze as well.
So, talk to me about also looking for scrap and why you wanted to run three copies of looking for scrap.
Yeah, I mean, in the earlier version of the deck, we only had looking for scrap because it was more consistent in the deck to just pitch one card and play looking for scrap in a dagger or looking for scrap in the levels. It was way easier to play it than E-Strike that requires a wall card from your hand, which you are deck that you like to pitch, one blue at least. So yeah, we started with three looking for scrap, and we later added the E-Strikes that we found that have some use in the mirror. and some consistency over your bad reaction hands. Like if you draw main reaction, you have a strike. Okay, you have a turn. Yeah. So looking for a scrap, they stayed in the deck because of the illusionist matchup, especially for it, especially for Enigma, I would say. But it's a good against Prism as well.
Okay, yeah, totally fair. That also that's what happened to me. Yanis was already testing the Enlightened Strikes, and I literally put it the Enlightened Strikes in the deck literally last minute before I registered the list. But Yanis already had experience. He told me that Enlightened Strike works, so I trusted him and reduced my number of looting for scraps for Enlightened Strike. I'm not sure what we're going to do for Amsterdam, but Enlightened Strikes and looting for scrap both worked for me as well. So, in closure, what do you think? What is the reason someone might choose to play New in the Amsterdam or in the upcoming season?
The reason is it's a very consistent deck. Don't mind me that I said some inconsistencies before, but it's very consistent deck. Also, you have a good matchup spread. If you don't expect like a sea of illusionist, I think it's a definitely very solid choice. And yeah, the Zen matchup is very good. I don't know if you saw that, but it's very, very good.
Yeah, so
That's
I
all.
also agree. If the meta game is full of aggressive strategies, I think New is a great answer, even moving forward towards Amsterdam. But if the metagame shifts into more, illusionists and Gaias start to show up again, and maybe a lot of wizards start, siding in some wild stuff that make the matchup horrible for you. Maybe New might not be the best choice, but I think we're probably both locked to run New for Amsterdam, so we'll see. So, guys, Yanis, thanks a lot for taking the time to run through this deck review with me, and again, congratulations for winning the PTI Plus.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
And we'll see you guys in Amsterdam. Thanks a lot. Have fun. Be safe.